A couple of game threes already slated for tomorrow. First up, Guardians, they forced a game three with Detroit. Series is tied at 1 after a 6-1 victory. Game three is tomorrow at 11:30, a game you can catch on San Antonio's ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM, while the Padres also forced a game three.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, gang? Can't stop me now.
Good evening and welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate y'all joining me, however y'all may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial. You happen to be locked in, listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching it live on YouTube, that's right. We stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go there, search SA Sports Star on YouTube. You're able to comment along with the show as it happens. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe while you're at it. Set the notifications so you know when we go live. Or if you want to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Always appreciate talking to y'all. However y'all want to join it and be a part of the show, it is always appreciated. Lots going on today. Of course, the final hour of the Blitz really taken over by all of this Project Marvel, Prop A and B, and what's going on there. And look, I would love to have a wonderful conversation. I know what I know, but I don't know enough to speak intelligently enough about what's going on with these propositions. I know what I've been told, which is, by Mayor Ortiz, which this is going to cost us, the taxpayers. And I know what's been told by the Spurs, which these are hotel and tourism taxes and things that we're getting from the city that are going to, or from the state that are going to go towards this stadium and these renovations. And the Spurs are kicking in $2.1 billion of their own, not just on the stadium and the $500 million there, but the additional 1.8 or whatever it is on the surrounding infrastructure with the bar district and everything. And it'd be great to hear from both sides as they have a political debate in the open about this to find out what's factual, who's being truthful, who is bending the truth to their will. And it's just very interesting to see where we're going. I don't want the Spurs to go anywhere. I'm obviously biased in the sense that I would, at this point, lean towards voting yes on these propositions because of the information that I have been told at hand and what I believe to be factual. I need to get more in-depth information about how this is all affecting taxpayer dollars and whether it is a straight tourism tax or whether there is an increase on the citizens of Bexar County and the city of San Antonio. Those are very important questions that need answers, that we're hearing one side from each side. Other than that, though, it has been an incredible week of getting ready for huge action. Of course, the Longhorns were off last week. Bob Ballou joined the Blitz earlier today to talk about how they handled their off week and getting ready for their first SEC game in Florida this coming weekend. But the Aggies, they've already got a game in the bag. They opened up SEC play last weekend as they took on Auburn and played one of their best games defensively of the year. And head coach of your Fight Texas A&M Aggies, who San Antonio Sports Star is your home for Texas A&M football, presented by Just Pots. Well, he joined the morning huddle with Rob and AJ a little bit earlier this morning to talk about that win, but also their upcoming SEC game against Mississippi State.
The great head coach of the A&M Aggies is here with us on the Barricade or the Buyers Barricade guest line, Coach Mike Elko. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, guys. How are you?
We're doing well. 4-0, and then you got a week off. Man, that's got to feel good.
Yeah. We had the week off a couple weeks ago. We're back at it this week against Mississippi State, and big win last weekend against Auburn.
Let me ask you about that Auburn win, because you guys have had like the Utah State win, the UTSA win were bigger wins, like as far as like the final score. I thought this was maybe the most lopsided game you guys played. The final score is closer than the game was. I think your team looked awesome against Auburn, despite the final score being a little tighter than it seemed. But what were your thoughts on the Auburn game?
Yeah, obviously, I thought we played well. Defensively, that was our best performance of the year. I think that goes without saying. I thought we physically controlled the game and were really, really good on third downs. Offensively, we made a lot of plays. We made a lot of explosive plays. I thought we moved the ball well. I think we've got to focus on cleaning up some of our penalties, obviously, and I think that puts a lot more points on the board for us.
It certainly would have. Going from a shootout like Notre Dame was to a rock fight like Auburn was, and the differences and things that you had to do, and you're still going against a running team and things like that. But talk about the different types of preparation that you had to go through between Notre Dame and Auburn, because the offenses were really flowing in Notre Dame, and this one was a little bit tougher. How much did you take away from the different types of games you had to play?
Yeah, first of all, I'm trying to find a way to have a blowout game. That's a lot less stressful for me as a coach. We'll take high scoring for us, low scoring for them. But no, I think what that showed was, one, we have a tremendous culture, and that whatever we have to do to find a way to win a football game, we're capable of doing. And when we were up at Notre Dame, then the defense was struggling. The offense was consistently picking guys up and going out there and making the plays they needed to keep us where we needed to be. And then I think last weekend, when the offense was hitting its ruts a little bit and not putting the ball in the end zone, defensively we kept going out there and making the stops we needed to win a game. And I think that just speaks to the character of your team and how they're willing to play together with each other.
The thing that has really kind of been a struggle with your defense going into last week, at least, you probably know better than I do. I like how I'm telling you what your struggles have been. You guys had kind of not been very good on third down defensively. Auburn 0 for infinity on third down and 0 for 2 on fourth down. What was there a mind shift? What happened with you guys that you were suddenly in the money downs able to get all these stops this last week?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a mind shift as much as it just was better execution. I think obviously it starts with pressure in the quarterback. We were able to do that a little bit better. It starts with creating some indecision on where he's going with the football. I think we're getting more and more comfortable with what we're trying to do schematically in those areas, and we just played better. I mean, it's a lot of times as a fan or as a broadcaster, you want this to be this big magic answer. The reality is we just went out there and we played better, and that's kind of what we're capable of. We felt like that internally, that's what we were capable of, and now we want to just see that be our consistent approach moving forward.
Do you like being the favorite? Is it easier or harder to coach as a team that is considered one of the best in the country?
We want to be relevant. I think that more than anything,
Rob too,
is really, really important. No, it's like you get into these opportunities, and everyone talks about like, oh, rat poison and
right,
this, that, and the other. And the reality of it is you get into these seasons to be competitive for the playoffs, to be competitive for the SEC title, and with that is going to come positive praise, and you just need to learn how to handle that. But I certainly don't want to flip it and put ourselves in a position where nobody's talking about us, or we're not winning games and we're not in those spotlights. And so, we were able to get into that spotlight last year through 3/4 of the season. We didn't finish it the right way. We're doing what we need to do to put ourselves back into those positions, and I think we're a more well-versed team on how to handle the finish of this thing.
Another guy who's on the same sort of at least portion of his SEC timeline as you is the head coach down at Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby. And Mississippi State was predicted preseason dead ass last in the SEC. So far, I thought that was very accurate. I thought Mississippi State was going to be dreadful. This is a pretty good football team. They're certainly not the worst team in the SEC like people thought they were coming into this thing. What have you liked about Jeff Lebby's team, and what are some things maybe you can take advantage of there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities. I think you're seeing a team that's putting their culture into place. There's a lot of energy and excitement on the field, which to me speaks volumes to how much they believe in Coach Levy and what he's doing and what he's saying to them. They did a really good job of retooling their roster through the transfer portal, and that's why I always say, like, some of these preseason predictions nowadays, I don't know if anyone's actually doing any homework to figure out who came in via the portal, and so until we get on the field and we start playing games, it's hard to tell what a lot of the teams are. And so they're a really talented football team. Obviously, everyone in the SEC presents its own challenges, and we know they're going to come in here and they're fighting for their SEC life and coming in here to play a top-ranked team. I'm sure we're going to get everything they have Saturday night.
Watching them play this year, they live on turnovers. When you see a team that capitalizes on turnovers like they have, is there extra emphasis on it, or just do what you're supposed to do and you don't need to worry about the turnover margin that this team brings into Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's something that you're aware of, and maybe as you kind of go through your game plan, you try to make sure that any plays that maybe have higher risk values, you maybe take those out of the game plan to try to do what you can as a coach. But the reality of it is turnover margin is the number one thing on our plan to win, and you see it kind of painted all over our building and everywhere we hang that thing. And so it's a huge emphasis for us every week. Obviously, it can be a huge factor in games and how games go, and so it'll be a big factor this weekend for sure.
Your two quarterbacks, Marcel Reed and then Blake Shapen for Mississippi State, they are both explosive play guys. They live and die on these big plays. The difference so far, at least this season, has been that your guy does a really good job of avoiding sacks. And Blake Shapen, when he was under pressure last week, I mean, the big game hunting, that was the big plays helped him beat Arizona State, but also pick six and a fumble six cost him against Tennessee. How important is getting pressure on Blake Shapen, forcing him to make those mistakes while he's hunting a big play?
Yeah, I think it's critical. And obviously he's a kid who's got a lot of experience. He's been in college for quite a few years now. He's played a lot of college football. And so I think when you play a quarterback like that, if he's comfortable in the pocket, he's going to know where to go with the football. He's going to identify coverages really well, and he can pick you apart. And so the ability to get him sped up, to get him off his spot, to get him having to run around back there a little bit, I think plays a huge role in our ability to kind of slow him down.
When the transfer portal, you're always going to seem to be going against teams where some of your kids have been, and certainly this week you got or played against. You've got a kid that came from Mississippi State, a wide receiver. Any extra emphasis on this? Can you sense a little bit of excitement on his end, or is it just another game?
No, I think in this day and age, it's kind of just another game. I think you see so many kids bouncing around nowadays, and I think it's just kind of become part of what it is. We've got a defensive end playing for them, Malik Silla, who was with us last year. I just think it's kind of how these things go.
Coach, your quarterback, Marcel, has been elite against zone coverage and really has not quite figured out man coverage yet. Is that something you expect to blossom as the season goes on, or is that just part of what he is? He's going to really be able to take advantage of zone coverages, and it may take him a while to get used to going up against man.
No, I think he just has to have confidence in himself and the receivers. I think some of the man coverage is, the windows are a little bit smaller. They feel a little bit tighter. I think sometimes quarterbacks think they're going to get these, guys breaking open with 4 yards of separation. That's not going to happen in man coverage. And so I think some of it is just getting him confident and comfortable and trusting himself to put the ball into the spots that he knows he can.
He's certainly been protected. Your Maroon Goons are playing out of this world. Talk about the growth of this offensive line, and they're doing everything you'd hope they'd be able to do at this part of the season, aren't they?
Yeah, if we can get rid of the penalties, I'll be really, really happy.
That's
with
the
those
next
guys.
question.
They it's a veteran group. They've played a lot of football together. For us to go out last week and be able to run the ball for over 200 yards against a really good Auburn defense, I think is really exceptional. They continue to protect Marcel. We got to do a little better than we did last week, but they do a good job in the one-on-one protections and giving him pockets. And it's been a blessing to have an O-line that has that much experience back here in Texas A&M.
How did your guys feel last week? They announced the annual opponents, at least for the next 4 years. So the guys that your team, even the young guys, are going to see for the next 4 years, and what you're going to see for the next 4 years. At Texas, LSU, and Missouri being the rivals there. Are your boys excited about those teams? Was there someone that they wanted that they didn't get, or what was the vibe when they said, "Hey, you're going to be playing those 3 teams every year while you're here"?
No, I think obviously we're excited. I think Texas we kind of anticipated would be on the schedule. We didn't really think there's any way they wouldn't be, and so that's obviously a game that means a lot to our program and to their program as well. And the LSU rivalry has kind of been a budding one since we came into the SEC, and I think that game has had a lot of energy and excitement around it. So it's good to keep that one on the schedule. And and then there was going to be a third one, and Missouri makes a ton of sense from the old Big 12 days, and so kind of rekindle that fire. And we're excited with it. And I think the bigger takeaway on the schedule is 9 games. Everyone has a gauntlet to run through now, and there's no hiding from anything. And so I think that the level of difficulty on an SEC schedule really went up just by adding 1 game.
This is kind of a periphery question, but I'm always curious. We got a blackout coming up this week, and always fun to do those theme games. How much of a part of the decision making as to the uniforms do you have?
I have pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
I don't have design control because design control is a lot of years out, and so I don't have design control until next year. But I think in terms of choices and things that you do, and I think part of it is being the CEO of the football program. I tell people all the time I wear 2 hats. The one I love to wear is being the coach. The one that I have to wear and I got to do as much energy into is being the CEO of this program. And so creating buzz, creating energy around our program, getting on the phone in the morning, talking to you guys over in San Antonio, things like that. We got to do what we got to do to publicize this program and make sure people feel really good about where Texas A&M football is going.
Coach, you guys off to another great start. You were off to a great start last year, and it didn't. I think most people thought you lost a game you shouldn't have lost against South Carolina. Is that experience from last year? Does it help going into this year when you guys sitting here at 4-0 and you're going into what's perceived as sort of a soft part of the schedule, to make sure your guys understand that in the SEC, even if Mississippi State or Florida's down or Arkansas is a mess, anybody can bite anybody in this league. Did last year's the South Carolina Auburn game kind of prepare your guys for these moments?
Yeah, I think, my opinion is we should be prepared for that all the time. I think there are no easy games in the SEC. I think that's maybe just a conversation that gets had outside of SEC buildings. I think we know the challenges that this league presents, the talent that's in this league. You don't ever put a film on in this league and go, ooh, this team's no good. I think every team that you put on has talented draft picks on it. They're all capable of beating anybody. That's why you see so much parity. I think the more NIL and transfer portal has come into this thing, I think you've even seen the elevation of the league. And so, I think you're going to continue to see this league play out very similar to the NFL, where anybody can beat anyone on any given Saturday.
All right, that is head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, Mike Elko, joining us here on the Morning Huddle. Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck this week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you,
Coach.
sir. That is Mike Elko. He and all our guests join via the Buyers Barricades guest line. All guests appear via that. Buyers Barricades provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Don't forget Aggie game right here on Saturday. Pregame gets going at 5:30. Kick right at 6.
That is
Aggies
right.
host Mississippi State.
And a game brought to you by Just Pots. Mike Elko, great stuff. He has been fantastic joining the show almost every week, and really insightful stuff. You hear him talking about Marcel Reed, his struggles against zone, and how he's combating that moving forward. It's just very, very insightful stuff from the head coach of your Fighting Texas A&M Aggies, Mike Elko, who joins the Morning Huddle each week. The Texas Longhorns, well, they get underway with SEC play coming up this weekend as they open things up on the road against the Florida Gators. They had a week off. They had a really good showing against, albeit Sam Houston State. Is that enough to prepare them as they get ready for SEC play? Well, Bob Ballou of KITV in Austin joined the Blitz earlier today. Are the Longhorns ready for this SEC slate? We'll find out coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the new H-E-B College Park, located at 7330 North Loop 1604 in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday, October 4th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by H-E-B.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is so simple. You pick your favorite players if they're going to go higher or lower on their stats, like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns. You get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. The easiest money going these days, whoever's playing quarterback against the Cowboys, they're going higher on their yards, right? Puka Nacua is catching 10 footballs a week. Let's go higher on him. And it's not just football. They've got baseball, UFC, whatever you love, they've got it at Underdog. It's so simple, guys. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Alamo. Score $100 in bonus funds when you play for your first $5. That's promo code Alamo, ALAMO. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
George gets justice. After an accident, a lot of people think they can't afford a lawyer. They're already stressed, hurting, or maybe out of work, and the last thing they need is a big retainer fee to get help. But here's the truth. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you only pay if they win. Real help is within reach. Right now, call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal office, San Antonio.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. In our YouTube chat, Joshua Jimenez asking if Texas fans are nervous having to play A&M at the end of the season. What about Oklahoma next weekend? They lost their QB, but Oklahoma tends to have their number. Then Georgia. Texas might not make the playoffs. Look, A&M, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen, but less scared over A&M, more fearful of Oklahoma, especially if John Mateer actually plays in that game, just because that game's always a toss-up. And as it comes to Georgia, Georgia does have their number. So they've got to start looking good like they did against Sam Houston. Can they do it against an SEC opponent as they get ready to start their slate? Well, Bob Ballou of KITV in Austin joined today to talk about those Longhorns as they gear up for Florida.
Did any of the Horns get a chance to enjoy the weekend as well? What did they do over the bye week?
It was actually kind of fun to hear Sark talk about that part of it. He really wanted them to relax and put their feet up and watch college football. And he said on Monday, that's what they did. He said a lot of them, I guess Thursday night for Thursday Night Football, a lot of them got together, watched that game. And then we kind of asked, like, what games did you watch this weekend? And most of them were, Ole Miss, LSU, Alabama, Georgia, the SEC games. A couple guys said Penn State, Oregon as well. So, I think maybe not for the most part, but I think a lot of players are just fans like we are. They love the game. They love watching the game. And so they got a chance to do that this weekend, kick their feet up, relax a little bit. And Sark wanted that. I mean, you play 4 straight weeks and then you get a bye, take advantage of it because you're going to do the same thing now. You're going to play, I think, 4 or 5 straight weeks. Then you get another bye. You got to do that same thing because then it's, full go to the end of the season until you're done with the playoffs. So good opportunity to get a little rest. I think some of them probably wanted to play coming off, again, we don't have to keep saying this. It was Sam Houston. But coming off, getting a little momentum back in yourself, I think you kind of like to keep playing. But, they took the week, and now they'll head to Florida and see what this looks like on Saturday.
Gators 1-3. Longhorns obviously heavy favorites in this one. For Arch Manning, and he needed the Sam Houston game from a confidence level. I think probably his teammates, whether they will admit it or not, needed to see a game like that from Arch Manning. Sark probably needed to see that from Arch Manning. Are they open about, we the old shooters shoot, we needed to see the ball go through the net kind of theory?
I think so. I think the bigger thing that they realize, and I hope that other people realize this too, Florida's 1-3, but the first loss against South Florida at home, I know that's a little bit unacceptable. I understand that. South Florida's gotten a little better, but still. But then their next 2 losses were at LSU. That game was 13-10 in the fourth quarter, and at Miami, which was a 13-7 game in the fourth quarter. So the offense has struggled. DJ Lagway, we expected to be much better at this point, threw for 61 yards against Miami, threw 5 interceptions against LSU. Again, both those games on the road. I think Florida's going to look really good on Saturday. I think they're going to come out and play well. I think they know their season's probably on the line here. Anything that they want to accomplish, they've got to find a way to get wins. They're back at home. They had a bye week. They're going to find ways, I think, to get DJ Lagway comfortable again. they're talented. And I think it's one of those things that it's like, it's so easy to just look at a team and look at the record and say, well, Texas should go in and wax them. Well, let's be honest. And this is the other side of it. Texas hadn't exactly played great. We have not seen an elite level Texas team this year. Now, they're elite on defense, and the defense has looked fantastic, which tells you that when you go to Florida, you're really going to have to trust in, maybe I kick some field goals where I'd normally be aggressive. Maybe I punt in some situations that I'd normally be aggressive. If you expect this to be a low-scoring game, which I think a lot of us do, based on the Texas-Ohio State game was 14-7, those last two Florida games, even the South Florida game was like 19-18 or 18-16. Like, everything's been pretty low-scoring with Florida this year because their offense has struggled, but their defense is really good. So I think you can kind of expect that. So that's been my biggest question. Is Sark patient enough to say, I don't have to be aggressive in this game. I can let Jack Bomeister pin him inside the 10. I can let Mason Shipley kick 3 field goals, and maybe we win this game 16-14. And it doesn't matter if that's how you win this game. If you don't win this, you're probably not going to win this game 41-20. So can you be patient enough that in those situations, I don't need to go for it on 4th and 1 here or 4th and 2 here. I'm okay punting it and letting my defense help me win this game.
Well, I think that's a good game plan. But I look at this, Bob, and I think you said it when you said, well, and we have to keep remembering this is Sam Houston. And yes, Arch Manning had a good game. I think Arch Manning needs a good game in this kind of an atmosphere. And he doesn't have to light up the scoreboard. He doesn't have to throw for 400 yards. But I just think a solid game where he takes care of the football, makes some plays. And I think that's when people will start saying, okay, I think Arch has settled down and this Texas team can move on to Oklahoma and reasonably get back to where we thought they would be when the season began. I think he needs a good game. And again, not a show-off game, but a good, solid performance against Florida.
No, I'm with you in that. And I think maybe the biggest point that you made right there that will tell us this was a good game for Arch Manning is no turnovers. I think that's going to be the biggest part of this. Like, can he avoid throwing a pick? Can he avoid fumbling? Can the running backs avoid? I mean, we're not 100% on Quintravian Wisner or on CJ Baxter. I assume CJ's not going to play. I think Quintravian will probably play. We start getting the availability reports here in just a little bit today. I think they're going to have to run the football, but I think turnovers are just going to be as key as anything else in this game. And I think Arch, to the point about Arch doesn't have to throw for 300 yards. If Arch has 180 yards or 210 yards or whatever it is, but he has 60 yards rushing, I think his legs are going to be vital in this game. And I think those are the things you start to look at when it comes to this stuff. Like, can they be patient? Can Arch be patient? Can he not force throws if he's frustrated because they're not hitting on a long ball or on some of the things offensively they want to do? Can they stay patient when it gets later in the second half and it's a tight game and keep running the football and get Quintravian Wisner going and get Jared Gibson going? I think those are the bigger things that I'm going to look for this week. Now, again, I mean, they led 35-0 at the half. Florida didn't have DJ Lagway last year. They led this team 35-0 at the half. I don't expect that. But, again, who knows what Sark's been holding back? I think that's another big question. I don't think they're going to revamp the offense or anything, but they're certainly going to have some things that they haven't shown yet, and that'll start to, trickle out this week, again in OU next week. I think those are the things that you kind of look for in this game is like, can they be patient? Can they not turn the ball over? And in the end, can Arch Manning do the right things in the moment to lead them to a win? And I think that's, especially on the road in this kind of environment, I think those are the biggest things you look for.
That was Bob Ballou earlier today on The Blitz. You can catch that full interview at sasportstar.com via the Best Bail Bonds audio player. All our guests are joined by the Buyers Barricades guest line, who provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. What about the Dallas Cowboys, though? They are coming off a tie, moral victory against former teammate Micah Parsons. They've got another game coming up against the type of quarterback that has given them troubles. One of our favorites, RJ Ochoa, managing editor-in-chief of bloggingtheboys.com. He ended up joining a little bit earlier today. We'll bring you a portion of that as we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero College Football Post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
And attention, Dallas Cowboy fans, Twin Peaks is giving away epic Cowboys jerseys all season long just for catching a game at one of the 4 San Antonio area locations. Get to Twin Peaks for every Cowboys game for your chance to win. Ask your Twin Peaks girl for more details.
Blue Star Tequila, the world's first and only 100% night harvested agave. And you might be saying, well, why do I care when it's harvested? It allows the agave to be harvested while it's resting and out of the brutal heat. Benefits to workers who would normally work into the heat of the day. It's just better for the flavoring. And speaking of flavoring, it's 100% additive free. No flavoring, sweetening, or coloring added, and it's unfiltered. Live your life unfiltered and do it with Blue Star Tequila. Find Blue Star Tequila at Specs, Costco, and Alamo City Liquor.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesome, TIX.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportsstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportsstar.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff at I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. Cowboys finally moving on from that tie, 40-40. Dak Prescott in the offense was phenomenal. Was there growth from the defense, though? Shotty says despite giving up 40, there actually was.
Yeah, I think when you look at a game, I mean, the stats are the stats. You can paint stats into anything you want the stats to be painted into. But yeah, there was things that we did better. I really, like I mentioned, I thought the first down efficiency was really good. The play style is incredible. Our guys play really hard. I thought the two interior guys were great, Osa and Kenny. But I think again, it's just been too much up and down. But yes, there was good things that we did defensively.
And he says there's help on the way, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
We got two guys that we're going to open the window. It's going to be Jonathan Mingo and Kalen Carson. So it'll be exciting to get those guys out there and, watch them move around a little bit and do what they love to do.
Now, Kalen Carson's a big one because that does allow them some secondary help that they probably desperately need. And after coming off the bench, it does look like Trayvon Diggs going to be starting again this week. Says it was a learning moment and accountability, and he's growing from it. And that's what you want to hear. So that's big. Now, as it comes down to it, there is a quarterback on the other side that can really flex his legs, and he showed that on Monday night in Justin Fields. But as Shotty said, his defensive coordinator knows that quarterback pretty well.
Well, I think number one, there's he presents a number of problems just based on the skill set, the athleticism, the arm strength, arm talent, the ability to improvise. I mean, I know everybody saw the game last week, the long touchdown run he had on kind of a broken play scramble. But the good news for us is no one knows him around the league probably better than Matt, being with him for 2 years. And, it'll be a fun chess match, him versus Justin.
Flus versus Fields. It's going to be a barn burner because we still have questions about that defense. And one of those people who still has questions about that defense, well, blogging the boys, RJ Ochoa, who joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today.
Now, though, aren't we?
Yeah, and somebody that certainly stirs it up in the chat is joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Our good friend RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. RJ, how did you celebrate the 40-40 tie?
I was not on the PJ, so not like either of you. But, once upon a time, everybody played a game of Edward 40 Hands, stuff like that. This brought back those memories. It was very thrilling, as I'm sure you both can attest to, but a bit unsatisfactory in the end. I suppose you consider it a victory that you netted home half a point when you didn't expect to yield any. It did make me think of the English Premier League, which I know you both are big time fans.
I was going to go hockey with the half point there, but no, I described walking out of there because I've been there for some big wins, and you leave the stadium and everybody's cheering. And I've been there after bad losses, and everybody just that kind of felt like leaving the mall during holiday season. Like, why in the hell did I come here to begin with? Get me home.
Yeah, I think that's a good comp. I've never seen The Sopranos, but a lot of people talked about the ending to that series.
You've never seen The Sopranos?
It's not my thing, and I know how it ends, so now I'm not going to devote the time. But yeah, it just, I think it on some level, on a human level, a loss would have felt better just because you could have closed the book.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Really? You would have rather had a loss than a tie?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that
right.
from an entertainment standpoint, it just felt awkward. It's one thing if the tie is a tie after, the offenses are broken all night long, but you're going shot for shot for shot and you're singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody and all of a sudden the lights come on. They're like, everybody get out. I mean, that's kind of what this felt like.
Dude, let me tell you something. That wasn't one of the most entertaining football games that I've ever seen in person. And I mean that. And I know the tie kind of put a damper on all of that. But both quarterbacks played extremely well. George Pickens was good. Ferguson was good again. The running game was good for the Cowboys again. I know there's issues on defense, and that's a problem. But Green Bay, I think Dak exposed some of their weaknesses on defense as well. And I think it was just one of those games. I wish it would have ended better. But I'll take that tie because nobody gave the Cowboys a chance to win that football game.
I agree with you, Joe. I think it's easy to say, I would have wanted the win, right? Like who doesn't feel that way? And I think the only way I empathize with that is Dallas felt like the team that deserved the win, particularly because they didn't play like cowards. If I left this game with a powerful feeling, it's that Matt LaFleur is a loser. I mean, not going for it on 4th and short across midfield, not once, but twice against a team that had their tail tucked between their legs and was kind of waiting for you to put them out for the night. And then playing for the tie. I mean, Matt LaFleur actually played for the tie. And I tell you what, it's been 3 days, and I haven't seen one national talk show hold Jordan Love's feet to the fire because he completely botched that at the end. They almost lost that game because he didn't know how to execute that. And so, I mean, on many levels, it felt like the Cowboys were the team that had to settle, which I think is a bit interesting looking back in hindsight.
And I agree with RJ because I've, on this show, questioned Matt LaFleur and his tactics at the end of that game and how I thought he botched the entire thing, and Jordan Love and their execution in those final 2 minutes in overtime. And I don't know if that's something that championship coaches are made of. And can they learn from it? Can they grow from it? Can they make better decisions moving down the stretch? That's something we'll have to see. But as far as the Cowboys, I think they played an extremely good game. Can they continue that momentum and kick a team that is down in the New York Jets? Because that is a team that has been struggling and probably is something that, while it is the NFL and every game is a coin flip, the Cowboys need to handle business this Sunday when they take on the Jets at noon. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, we're going to take a look up in Houston, see if the Texans can take anything away from potentially not having to face Lamar Jackson on Sunday. That's coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon, the Cowboys are in the Garden State of New Jersey, taking on the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. You like that? How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That's our philosophy at GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. Fat ones, skinny ones, curvy ones, fast ones, slow ones, round ones, and square ones. Yes, square body Chevys. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now. Put yours in and get a quote. We'd love to buy it. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Stop
Stop wasting money on hard water costs. Go get yourself a Connecticut water system. It's one of the few household appliances that pays for itself. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Connecticut water softener. Connecticut water softeners are specifically designed to solve virtually any water problem you may have. Living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that costs you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Connecticut water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform more efficiently with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. So, for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Connecticut today. 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
You hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday evening at 6:30, the Aggies take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Presented by Just Ponce. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings. It's a pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Houston Texans, well, can they get to 2-3? They're at 1-3. They're coming off a win where the offense finally in the final quarter started to look relevant. But is that a characteristics of a bad offense or bad team and taking advantage of them finally late in the game after beating up on them. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult. The Texans injury list doesn't look too bad, but Baltimore's where you worry. And you see a guy like Lamar Jackson, obviously it goes from, being a road dog to a road favorite because of the potential of no Lamar Jackson for the Baltimore Ravens. Can the Houston Texans take advantage of that? Well, they're going to have to wipe away a bunch of bad memories of the Texans struggling against backup quarterbacks. And that goes all the way back to, what was it? Jamie Martin's knocked out. Ryan Fitzpatrick makes his debut, where we first learned about the guy from Harvard as he leads a comeback against the Houston Texans. You see once again with the Rams, and after the greatest show on turf, and you see Bulger come in and complete like 21 straight against them. They're down Tom Brady, they're down Jimmy Garoppolo, and then a third string quarterback comes in and beats them in week 3 of the season one year with JJ Watt on that defense. I mean, the Texans have struggled against backup quarterbacks throughout their entirety. And Cooper Rush is one that they have had success against, though. They did get a 34-10 win against the Cowboys when Cooper Rush was the quarterback. So they at least have that going for them. But you could call it battered Texan syndrome. You could call it whatever you want, but you can't overlook an opponent that is beat up and missing a potential MVP in Lamar Jackson, multiple-time MVP in Lamar Jackson, because they are well coached. That is a good team, and I don't expect them to go down, especially at home, without a fight. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be back tomorrow to get you ready for Thursday Night Football. Remember, no Brock Purdy in that one.
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander.
That toe re-aggravated in the loss to the Jaguars, and instead Mac Jones will get the start as they take on the Seattle Seahawks. We'll have that for you right here on San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Flight by Yingling. Don't forget to start your day with Rob and AJ on the Morning Huddle tomorrow morning. And of course, the Blitz takes you home, as Jason and Joe will be joined by not just the general to talk Houston Texans, but Cowboys with the vice president and executive vice president and COO of the Dallas Cowboys, Stephen Jones. He joins at 4:35 on Thursdays, every Thursday, and you can catch it right here starting tomorrow. Until then, remember to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life. Coming up next, we got the Cowboys Hour. CJ Goodwin joined Brad Sham and Nicole to talk about that tie and getting ready for Justin Fields and those New York Jets this coming Sunday. That's all coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is so simple. You pick your favorite players if they're going to go higher or lower on their stats, like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns. You get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. The easiest money going these days, whoever's playing quarterback against the Cowboys, they're going higher on their yards, right? Puka Nacua is catching 10 footballs a week. Let's go higher on him. And it's not just football. They've got baseball, UFC,